The night unfurls around you, a vast canvas of deep indigo stitched with faint silver threads of starlight. The air carries a gentle chill, brushing your skin like the fleeting touch of a forgotten promise, while the distant murmur of a stream weaves through the stillness, a soft, ceaseless hum that rises and falls like a breath. Beneath your feet, the earth feels cool and firm, dusted with the tender give of moss, its texture a quiet comfort against your soles. Somewhere nearby, leaves rustle faintly as they drift downward, brushing the ground with a sound so delicate it's almost a whisper, a secret shared between the trees and the night. A lantern flickers ahead, its glow a warm pool of amber swaying gently in the breeze, casting fleeting shadows that dance across the gnarled bark of ancient oaks. The light shifts, now brighter, now dimmer, its rhythm a heartbeat you can almost feel in your chest. The scent of damp wood and faint smoke curls through the air, stirring something deep within, a thread of memory that tugs at the edges of your mind. It's there, just beyond reach, a flicker of something familiar, a presence or a moment hovering like mist over the water, waiting to unfurl. The lantern's glow seems to beckon, its soft crackle a quiet song against the night's embrace, and with each sway, the scene deepens, stars glinting sharper, the breeze growing warmer, the rustling leaves whispering louder, as if they know something you've yet to grasp. The weight of the night settles into you now, heavy with thoughts that twist and turn like the shadows around that flickering lantern. You feel it, the restless churn of overthinking, the way it pulls you back to moments you can't quite hold. There was a time when sleep came easy, when the day's end was a simple surrender, your mind quiet as the embers of a fire dying down. Now, it's different. The stillness feels too vast, too empty, and your thoughts rush in to fill it, a tide of what-ifs and might-have-beens. You see yourself in the mirror some mornings, the lines deeper, the eyes searching, and wonder where the ease went, where the man who laughed at the stars disappeared too. There's a longing there, too, a quiet ache for the nights when the world felt smaller, when decisions didn't loom like mountains in the dark. You think of a task once simple, a conversation, a plan, a dream, and how it's grown tangled, a knot you pick at when the house is silent. Fatigue wraps around you, not just in your bones, but in your spirit, a tiredness born of wrestling with questions that have no shape. And yet, through it all, there's a whisper, a voice, or a memory brushing against your awareness, soft as the breeze that lifts the lantern's glow. It's closer now, a thread of sound or sensation weaving through the doubt, stirring the air with a promise you can't yet name. Each regret, each restless loop, seems to carry its echo a call from the edges of the night, growing nearer, patient and persistent, as if it's been waiting for you to listen. From the shadows, he steps forward, the night watchman, a confidant from memory, his presence as warm and steady as the lantern he carries. His coat rustles faintly, a sound like dry leaves settling, and his boots press the earth with a soft, deliberate thud that blends with the stream's murmur. His voice, low and intimate, cuts through the night's hum, a gravelly balm against your restless thoughts. "You're not alone out here," he says, the words curling around you like the faint smoke from his light, and the lantern sways in his grip, its glow brushing your face with a gentle warmth. He draws you back, his voice painting scenes in the air. You're there again, sitting by a window long ago, the glass cool against your palm, the lantern's flicker reflecting in your eyes as rain tapped a steady rhythm outside. The scent of wet earth fills you, rich and grounding, and you feel the weight of a book in your hands, its pages soft from wear. Then it shifts, you're on a porch, the wood creaking underfoot, the night alive with crickets as he nods beside you, his quiet chuckle a tether to the moment. The air is thick with summer, the faint tang of cut grass lingering, and the lantern's glow dances across your knuckles as you trace a thought aloud. And then a third memory, sharper now. A late walk home, the crunch of gravel under your boots, his silhouette ahead with that same light, turning to offer a word that steadied you when the world felt too big. That thread of suspense unravels here, the memory taking shape, a night when you stood strong, when your voice carried weight, when the lantern's glow wasn't just light, but a mirror to your own fire. He sees it in you still, his eyes glinting with a knowing warmth, and the sounds deepen, the streams ripple, the leaves rustle, the lantern's soft crackle wrapping you in a dreamlike cocoon of the past, whispering that what you seek isn't lost, only waiting. His hand rests near yours, not touching but close, and the warmth from the lantern seeps into your skin, softening the edges of the night. "You've been carrying so much," he says, his voice a gentle anchor. "But those thoughts, they're not chains. They're lanterns of their own, flickering because they still matter." The reassurance builds, slow and sure, like the breeze lifting the leaves around you. "You're not less for this," he continues, "not weaker. The man who laughed at the stars, who walked with me under this light, he's still here, just seeing farther now." The encouragement rises, bright and steady. "Look at the lantern," he urges, and you do its glow dances, unyielding even as the wind presses against it. That's you flickering, yes, but burning still. You've faced nights darker than this, and you've carried on. That's no small thing. His words wrap around you lifting the fatigue, and the scene echoes with sensory threads, the faint rustle of his coat, the cool moss beneath you, the distant stream singing its quiet song. Then comes the wisdom, deep and expansive. This overthinking, it's not a flaw, but a sign you've lived, he says. It's the mind reaching for meaning, sifting through time. And time bends, you know. It doesn't erase what was. The suspense resolves fully now that night of strength, when you spoke and the world listened, when the lantern's light caught your resolve. That moment's still yours, he murmurs, a glow that doesn't fade, only softens your restless thoughts now, letting them rest. He leans closer, philosophical and vast. Resilience isn't loud, it's this, the quiet burn of a lantern through the dark. Growth isn't in leaving the night behind, but in walking it with eyes open. You're not diminished, you're transforming, like dusk into dawn. The scene ties back, the stars sharpen overhead, the breeze warms your face, and the leaves whisper a final, soothing note. Let it go, he says, not as loss, but as release. The lantern's glow dances for you still, softening what keeps you awake. Peace settles in, a tide of hope rising with his words, grounding you in the night's embrace. The lantern's light begins to fade, not dimming, but softening, like a candle easing into its last glow. The night watchman's presence lingers, his coat rustling one final time as the breeze carries it away, a sound blending with the leaves brushing the ground. The air grows warmer now, wrapping you in a quiet hug, and the stream's murmur slows, a lullaby threading through the stillness. The moss beneath you feels softer, cradling your weight, while the stars above pulse faintly, their light a tender echo of the lantern's dance. He speaks once more, his voice a breath on the wind. You've walked this night with me, and it's yours now, safe, steady, whole. The scene unfolds in layers. The faint scent of smoke dissolves into the crispness of night. The cool earth warms under your touch, and the shadows settle into a serene, amber haze. Rest here, he whispers, where the glow still dances, where your thoughts can drift like leaves on the stream. His figure blurs, a silhouette fading into the trees, and the lantern's flicker becomes a memory etched in the air, a final gift of calm. The journey lingers in your chest, a night reclaimed, a restlessness softened, a confidence wisdom woven into the quiet. The stars seem closer now, the breeze a gentle nudge toward peace, and the world feels lighter, as if the lantern's glow has settled within you. Tell me of a moment that lingers in your heart. His voice echoes faintly, an invitation carried on the wind, and the night holds you close, its textures and sounds a cradle for your spirit. With one last rustle, one last glint of amber, he's gone, and you're left with the stillness, the serenity, the soft farewell of a night well spent.